Of course, got more manners than some of my other customers.
What makes you happy?
I could not believe what I was looking at. Mind-blowing.
Hello and thanks for joining us for the Midday News. Pope Francis is scheduled to arrive in Port Moresby later this evening for a historic three-day visit. It is his first trip and visit to Papua New Guinea. The Pope's visit is part of a larger tour across the Pacific aimed at promoting peace, unity and environmental stewardship. Upon arrival, Pope Francis will be greeted by key government and church officials, followed by a welcoming ceremony at Jackson's APEC terminal. His itinerary includes a public mass at Sir Hubert Murray Stadium and meetings with local leaders to address social and environmental issues affecting the region. We now cross over to Ruth Rungola at the APEC terminal now for more details.
Thanks, Carol. We're here at the APEC terminal. This is where the Pope's plane is expected to arrive at 6:50 p.m. today. The Pope is flying on Garuda Airlines, that's Indonesia's national airliner. He's traveling from Jakarta to Port Moresby. He was scheduled to leave Jakarta at 9:45 a.m. this morning. He's probably on air and will arrive here in Port Moresby at 6:50 p.m. in the afternoon. There's so much excitement in the air. Catholic faithfuls all around the country have converged to the city. People are looking forward to welcoming the Pope at 6:50 p.m. this afternoon. There's so much anticipation. There's people planning to hold a candle night tonight to welcome the Pope. Streets will be filled with Catholic faithfuls lighting up their candles. They've been advised to use battery candles, so people are buying battery candles. The shops are busy this morning as people go about to buy candles, buy merchandise and prepare for the Pope's visit this afternoon. So the APEC terminal is quiet this morning. We only have people on the ground who are working to have the place prepared for the 6:50 p.m. arrival. Access to the airport is restricted. Access is only through passes. Only a few people will access the airport at 6:50 p.m. The gates open at 3 p.m. for the media and for other people to set up to welcome the Pope here to Papua New Guinea. This is the Pontiff's third visit to the country. We had Pope John Paul II visiting the country in 1984 and again in 1995 for the beatification of Blessed Peter Torot. So Pope Francis, the much anticipated visit happens this afternoon at 6:50 p.m. Catholics all around the country are in the city waiting for the arrival with the Papal Mass scheduled for the 7th of September at the Sir John Guy Stadium. Back to you, Carol, at the studio.
Thanks, Ruth. TVWAN will be providing updates on the Pope's visit over the next 3 days. Follow us on TVWAN online and our social media sites. Still on preparations for the Pope's visit, the National St. John Ambulance has set up an advanced casualty management center to respond to emergencies that may occur during the 3-day papal visit. The facility is set up at the Sir John Guy Stadium. It is the first of its kind for an event of this magnitude. The setup is a collaborative effort between the St. John Ambulance, the National Department of Health, Port Moresby General Hospital and the NCD Provincial Health Authority for Public Health Response. Health Commander for the papal visit, Dr. Gary No, said it is a critical health center to serve an expected 35,000 or more people. Dr. No said considering the number of visitors and the weather, the team is anticipating a few casualties, especially during the biggest gathering at Holy Mass on Sunday, 8th September.
The triage area behind me is where we're going to triage the patients and then allocate where they need to go in the facility. The facility is completely staffed by 24 POM General Hospital staff, which are highly trained and skilled staff from emergency department, critical care and the other wards in the hospital. All of the infrastructure behind me and logistics have been kindly provided by St. John Ambulance, and I'd like to congratulate them because this is a tremendous resource that they have that's been stored and built up over the years from the numerous national events that we've had, from APEC, the Rugby World Cup, FIFA, and all of these events have enabled them to be able to put up such a facility here. This is the first time we're actually doing this in-country for an event, and it's quite an outstanding feat itself, but it is a necessary thing that we are putting up.
The Book Belong Pikinini Literacy Week Market Day kicked off on Thursday and Friday, offering an engaging learning experience for children. Various stalls, including the Rainbow Kitchen and Restaurant, a stationery shop, a craft shop, and a supermarket open for business, promoting health and education in a fun environment. During the Book Belong Pikinini Literacy Week Market Day, children were encouraged to eat a rainbow of nutritious foods such as rice, fish, eggs, peanuts, and a variety of colorful fruits and vegetables to maintain energy and focus in class. Their lunchboxes were packed with freshly prepared trukai rice, colorful capsicum, egg, lettuce, tuna, carrot, and cucumber sticks, complemented by homemade peanut butter. In addition to promoting nutrition, the event helped students practice financial literacy. The children used pretend money withdrawn from a BSV ATM to shop at different stalls, including the craft store, Zenag Egg Shop, Theatre Stationery, and a supermarket. Many shopkeepers manage cash registers, while children fill shopping trolleys and baskets. The Literacy Week Market Day provided a platform for students to learn through play-based activities. BBP, in collaboration with parents, teachers and sponsors, worked for weeks to make the event a success. Special thanks were extended to ExxonMobil PNG, Trukai Industries, Zenag Eggs, Ilimo Dairy Farm, Theodist and other sponsors and volunteers for their generous support in making the market days an unforgettable educational experience for the children. In Australia, Aboriginal applicants have broken their silence after a successful heritage protection order prompted weeks of political and media speculation. Wiradjuri Traditional Owners Corporation have told the ABC their only motivation was to protect country and that the backlash has taken an enormous toll. It comes as an expert has slammed current Aboriginal heritage legislation as deliberately divisive.
The Wiradjuri people's connection to this place goes back thousands of years.
So there's 19 artefact scatters, 18 isolated finds, 1 open artefact site.
Up until recently, it was set to become a waste storage site for the Regis gold mining project. That was before the Federal Environment Minister issued a rare Section 10 order to protect the site.
The water is sacred and life-giving. It's healing and it's got spiritual significance. It's used particularly for different types of ceremony.
They say earlier attempts to have it listed on the register were rebuffed because it was considered a state significant development.
Well, it says they believe what we say, but they can't do anything about it, which is really frustrating.
Since the minister's intervention, the pushback has been fierce.
We've been accused of lying, accused of profiteering from the application. We've had our members threatened and harassed.
Regis says the intervention makes their project unviable and will hurt the local economy. The mining company insists it followed the correct process every step of the way, consulting with the local Aboriginal Land Council, which withdrew its opposition during the application. It declined to comment for this story, but the New South Wales Land Council has issued a statement saying it's deeply concerned with the debate and wants better systems in place that aren't used by governments to divide our peoples.
Why is it that Aboriginal people have to have a consensus view on the heritage value of a place because they all have different connections to that place.
Like many other Aboriginal people, we hold the belief that we are country and country is us.
A connection that's being protected for now.
Winter crop production is forecast to rise to near record levels in agricultural regions across the country, but it's a different story in South Australia and Victoria. Despite some early spring rains, many farmers are expecting results significantly below the high yields of recent years.
John Lush has reaped the benefits of crops that match his name for more than 50 years. But the Adelaide Plains farmer is now holding on to hopes of just breaking even. The outlook for this year's cropping season is dry after low and late rainfall across large parts of the state.
Looking at the sky, looking at the weather, it doesn't look like it's going to regain its potential, so I think we're in trouble this year.
That concern is confirmed by the latest federal government data. While New South Wales and Queensland are forecast to produce near record crops, it's a different story in Victoria and South Australia, with both states expected to register significant year-on-year drops. The next few weeks are crucial.
Really what we need now is a really kind September, not much wind, and even just good dewy mornings certainly helps. But yeah, rain is always key.
We operate in one of the most variable climates in the world, heavily reliant our cropping seasons on that winter rainfall pattern that comes through.
It's not the season that producers in South Australia wanted, but they say that is the nature of farming. Already, they've begun planning on how they're going to respond to this year's season and bounce back, like they always do.
Farmers today expect that there is going to be a dry year in amongst, over a 10-year period. There's always a dry year in that time.
Either way, they'll still be looking to the skies.
We better get down on our knees and pray for rain, I think.
A last-minute spring drenching could still save the day.
Back home, the Minister for Justice and Attorney General Pila Niningi launched the Attorney General's Law Journal Volume 3 yesterday in Port Moresby. The journal is part of a series of journals that have been published since 2019. When launching the journal, Niningi said the journal is one of fraternity's key interventions as it promotes legal scholarship and is open to research papers from practitioners in the fraternity. He said the journal brings to light the work legal practitioners do. Niningi said the challenge in the legal fraternity is that many lawyers do not write, therefore are encouraged to do so, so that they can contribute vast knowledge that can be shared with the younger generation.
The Law Journal is one of the key interventions to promote legal scholarship. It is open to receive papers from everyone within the department, the legal fraternity, and the public. And we are happy to receive papers and publish them. The Law Journal is currently captured in the department's current corporate plan 2024 to 2028, and also in the new law and justice sector policy 2024 and 2030, as we recognize this as a strategic platform for the sector to share knowledge.
In sports, Oceania Rugby has confirmed that Papua New Guinea Rugby Union has been suspended from the Regional Association of World Rugby. The suspension means that PNGRU will not be able to participate in any regional or international meet until the suspension is lifted. The Oceania Rugby Executive Board issued a notice of determination to the PNG Union on Thursday after several failings by the PNG governing body to comply with orders imposed by the Regional Association of World Rugby. The suspension comes after months of dialogue between Oceania Rugby and PNG Rugby on concerns raised by numerous stakeholders, including provincial unions, regarding the conduct of the board and management. The suspension entails loss of voting rights for the PNG Rugby Union and prevention from participation in Oceania rugby competitions and development programs, as well as deferral of funding. President of the PNG Rugby Union, Paul Siwi, is expected to respond to the report today. And that ends the midday news. Join us for more news and sports at 6 tonight.